I'm George MUTUA, the local representative for Société Générale in East Africa. That's Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. The Covid-19 pandemic has presented a major challenge for the economies of these countries. And although none of these countries is largely dependent on any one commodity like oil, major exports, especially in agriculture and things like tourism, have been affected in a very negative way. Countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia export flowers, tea, coffee, and vegetables to Europe, Middle East, and Asia. And because of lack of demand, then companies that focus on those particular products or in that sector have been affected adversely to the extent that they have been forced to lay off employees and also restructure loan facilities with banks. Another sector which has suffered greatly is the tourism industry. Kenya and Tanzania depend a lot on tourism. Visitors from Europe, Asia, and America come to obviously view wildlife and go on safaris, and that has also come to a complete standstill. Ethiopia, which runs one of the most successful airlines in Africa, Ethiopia Airlines, has also been affected adversely because of the slowdown in the airline industry. So all in all, although the public healthcare impact has not been that bad in terms of number of infections and number of death rates, the economies have faced challenges. People have been laid off and companies have been forced to restructure facilities. In East Africa, the dominant sectors of the economy are agriculture, tourism, construction, the service industry, and manufacturing, although manufacturing is a relatively small percentage of GDP. In countries like Kenya, the government has taken measures to prevent a complete slowdown or complete shutdown of businesses that are involved in these sectors. The Central Bank of Kenya has taken active measures. They have reduced the central bank rate by 1%, and they have also reduced the cash reserve ratio for commercial banks by 1%. The objective is to pump liquidity into the private sector, and those funds will be used to meet payroll and pay suppliers and just make sure people who are employed by these businesses don't lose their entire income. And also to improve on liquidity, the governments have negotiated with the likes of IMF facilities. Kenya has received $739 million from the IMF. Ethiopia received $411 million. Uganda has received around $492 million. And most of these funds will be targeted towards the healthcare sector, the agricultural sector, and the education sector. Also, government have taken fiscal measures. They have reduced taxes. In Kenya, turnover tax has been reduced. Pay as you earn has also been reduced from 30% to 25% for the highest bracket. And people at the bottom of the economy have been exempted from paying taxes. So all these stimulus plans are supposed to improve liquidity and encourage spending. For French companies operating in East Africa or looking to expand into East Africa, there are a number of key sectors where there are opportunities. To start with, in the healthcare sector, there's need for the construction of hospitals, there's need for medical equipment, and there's need for medical technology. So companies that can play in that sector are well positioned to take advantage and meet the need in these countries. Another sector is agriculture, food production and food processing. Governments will have the objective of becoming self-reliant in food production and making sure that they can feed their citizens. So any investments in agriculture, from growing plants to processing food and putting it on the shelves, that would be a big opportunity across the region. Another one is water and sanitation. There's need to improve healthcare across the board, in addition to providing people with drinking water and healthy water. There's also need to make sure that waterborne diseases are cut down significantly. Another sector will be supply chain and logistics. They need to move goods to businesses and also to households. Another sector is IT and telecommunication. The consumption of high technology in 4G, 5G is going to become imperative as more people in the region continue to work from home, to consume content through internet and to start interacting with technology on a day-to-day basis.